Wuthering Waves version 2.6 is looking to be a massive patch. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing for my pulls. But that's what this video is for. So if you're just like me, you have to choose who to spend your pulls on. I'll go over what we know so far about Augusta and Iuno's kit, whether you should pull for them or not. Then I'll do the same for the RERUN banners and just talk about their overall value and who you should prioritize. Hi, my name is Spade, and I'm at your service. Alright, first up we have the F4 herself. Despite her sun motifs, she's an Electro Broadblade user. Now, I did some quick research. The sun is made up of gases in the form of plasma, which can conduct electricity. Along with various other mechanisms, it creates the sun's magnetic field. That kinda explains Augusta's element and her animations revolving, get it, around electromagnetism. Anyway, moving on to her kit. In combat, each hit on an enemy builds up different types of forte gauge. It's unclear what those are, but from what I've understood, she has two different gauges. The first one is related to her resonance skill. Once it's fully charged, her resonance skill will be enhanced and she can summon her Griffrex. The following normal attacks after casting that enhanced skill, she's able to leap into the air and then plunge with her Griffrex. Then certain normal attacks afterwards leap her into the air and then plunge back down again. The second is related to her Resonance Liberation or ultimate. Her regular ult does this massive sweeping slash, and that's about it. Again, from my understanding, the under certain conditions probably means once the other forte gauge is fully charged, her ult will become enhanced. And then after you cast that ult, it replaces her normal attacks with new ones and then ult again for the final blow. Pretty similar to how Zani works. She's also able to provide a shield to herself and allies through her normal attacks it seems. And when an ally performs an outer skill, presumably to Augusta, it builds up her forte gauge to unlock her enhanced ult faster. I kind of have an idea on how her rotations would be, but I'll save that for a different video. So if you missed out on the free Shangli-Ao, like me, or don't have an Electro character, she's definitely a great choice for your account. As for who her recommended teammates will be, we'll have to wait for more information. If you're enjoying this video so far and find it informative, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. I also stream over on Twitch, so come follow me there and join my live streams. I have a Discord server as well with my community, and I'd love to chat with y'all over there. The links are in the description below. Alright, let's go back to the video. Alright, so moving on to Rin Tosaka, I mean Iuno. She's an arrow gauntlet user that uses a chakram bow with her feet? Okay. In combat, when she hits a target with certain skills, it enhances her resonance skill. And casting that enhanced skill activates her lunar cycle half moon state. Now, judging from her animations, those certain skills are probably her regular resonance skill or her heavy attack. While in this half moon state, she's able to charge her forte gauge from attacking enemies. And once that's fully charged, you can jump to enter her lunar cycle new moon state, unlocking new normal attack animations with increased damage bonus and healing to allies. Apparently, she can also hover in midair and above water to move around. Her Resonance Liberation or ultimate deals damage and lets her enter the lunar cycle state and gains forte gauge. This is probably a faster way to build it to enter the new moon state again, and any ally that switches in during the new moon state gains increased damage bonus and healing. To be honest, she's a bit confusing to understand since I'm just relying on the animations and subtitles. The new moon state transforms her ring to a bow. Then the state unlocked from her ult does that as well, but then enters new moon state later on and then her bow goes back to a ring. I don't really get it. It is also unclear if her damage bonus is just a general buff or specifically to arrow. So like I said earlier with Augusta, we'll have to wait and see for more information. She seems to be similar to Brand in terms of being able to do everything, you know, get it? From from dealing damage, supporting, and healing. If you want an all-in-one character, then Iuno seems like a great choice. Although I'll be getting her regardless, and Augusta as well because I just like their designs. Surprisingly, 3 characters are rerunning this version. Carlotta and Shorekeeper in the first half with Augusta, and Ciaccona in the second with Iuno. Now starting off with Carlotta, she is a great Glacio pistol DPS that can freeze enemies with their resonance skill and deal massive damage with their ult. Her ult is considered resonance skill damage, so make sure you have the right stats on her echoes. This means that Zhezhe is her best in slot support since she buffs both Glacio and resonance skill damage. And if you don't have Zhezhe, Brand and Cantarella are great substitutes as they can buff 25% resonance skill damage. For free-to-plays, you have Yang Yang and Tao Che. Yang Yang can provide energy to Carlotta through her outro skill to get her resonance liberation faster. For Tao Che, she buffs 38% resonance skill damage, but she can feel slow and clunky, which is fine I guess since Carlotta's cooldown for her resonance skill takes a while. Alright, so a struggle I had with Carlotta was building her with crit rate, especially when you equip her with her signature. It took me a while to get to a pretty decent crit ratio. I was only able to get it after they introduced the echo modeling system. Moving on to Shorekeeper, she is a Spectral Rectifier support and the best overall support in the game. Alright? Her ult grants 12.5% crit rate and up to 25% crit damage based on her energy regen. It also creates a field that grants healing to allies within it, so you know, just make sure you stay within that circle. Her Ultra skill provides a safety net for allies, allowing them to recover from interruption quicker, which can make rotations easier and more comfy. She can be slotted into any and every team. Even if she's not the best support for the niche, she will still contribute a lot, trust me. I would say she's the closest to a must-pull character in Wuthering Waves. Now the only thing I'd point out about Shorekeeper is that you don't need her signature. Sure, it will help you reach the stat requirements a lot easier and provide a little bit of support to the team, but it's not, you know, as impactful, not really that game-changing. And finally, Ciaccona. She reran pretty early. She's an arrow pistol support specifically for arrow erosion teams like Carlottia's. She grants 100% arrow erosion amplification with her outro skill, similar to Phoebe's, but just like Phoebe, she's a very niche support. While she is able to grant like 24% arrow damage bonus through her solo concert from basic attacks, that's pretty much all she can do outside of arrow erosion teams. I honestly can't really say much else since I don't have her, so I would really appreciate it if any of you can comment down below and provide feedback on her. As for who to prioritize, I would say look at your account and find what's missing. For example, I don't have an Electro DPS, so I'll be pulling for Augusta. But in terms of overall value, I would say Shorekeeper is at the top of the list. I got her in the last rerun and it made such a huge difference to my account. I was able to finally clear the side towers in TOA because of her. Iuno on the other hand might be a better brand in terms of flexibility when it comes to team building. She might be like Shorekeeper in the sense that you can just slot her into any team, but it really depends on if her damage bonus buffs all elements or just arrow. I will still be trying to get her and Augusta and their weapons if I can. They just look amazing and they seem fun to play. I swear it's so hard to save when Kuro keeps releasing banger after banger. And then we have Galbarena coming out soon, so rip ass rights. But at the end of the day, your enjoyment takes priority. If you really don't care about meta, then pull for whoever you want. Whether you like the design, voice actor, or you're a waifu husbando collector. As long as you're having fun, then that's all that matters. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. More Wuthering Waves content coming soon, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.